on the internet. As a matter of fact, I can remember me and the guitar player at that time sitting in a pizza and pipes restaurant, which in the West Coast it's a place where they make pizza and they have a pipe organ for no reason. I keep it on, sometimes Darth Vader comes out and plays it. I can remember I was sitting there at this table in this pizza restaurant, reading this review where they're like, oh, it's this goth band, but they're not very spooky. And we're like, well, should we be a goth band? And he's like, I heard they have very loyal fans. Let's do that. And then we started getting booked at all these goth events. And then, meanwhile, all along, people were like, you're not a very good goth band. I'm like, okay. I mean, I even read this one review where they're like, he just sounds too nice to be a goth band. My mom's gonna be confused too. And so then eventually we just got really, really tired of that label, because what happened is we would start to try to do other things and people would be like, well, you're a goth band that plays goth festivals and that's not what we're booking here. And it's like, oh, I'm tired of that label. And so we literally sat down during practice one day, the people that were in the band at that point, which of this lineup, it was just me and Christina. And we're like, well, what do we have? What themes do we have running through our lyrics? What musical stuff are we doing? And somebody in the band at that point was like, well, that kind of reminds me of the comic book style of steampunk. Because we had songs like The Change Cage, which was talking about this city that was sort of forced to stay in a Victorian mode so that they didn't progress. And we had this song called Twisted and Broken about this clockwork boy that had to continue to build himself after his creators got into a fight and left him. Instead of a divorce metaphor, obviously. But yeah. I was settled in my youth. So basically we had all those themes going through the music, and so we're like, okay, nobody's ever done anything steampunk, so if we claim to be steampunk, nobody would ever tell us we're doing it wrong. So it was about 6 months before I saw people on the internet saying things like, the hell makes them think they could just invent a subculture? There's no way that's gonna happen. And then 6 months later after that, people were like, what the hell is this steampunk subculture? And then 6 months after that, people were telling us we were doing it wrong. I swear to God, after that, somebody got on and said, Abney Park is so cliche. I'm like, wait, if you get copied, you're not cliche. Or maybe you are, I don't know. So we never meant to be goth. We actually meant to be steampunk. We said, we think this is the closest genre we've ever heard of to what we're doing. And so we did that on purpose, but the goth was just a label that got attached. So, not that there's anything wrong with it, we enjoyed it. What was that?
Because nobody else knew what to call you.
Yeah, and as soon as we took that one, people said it was wrong anyway. So eventually we'll be kicked out of the steampunk scene for not being steampunk.
We're not doing it right.
So, what you got?
How do you write? What's your writing process?
Okay, so I have an iPhone. And that seems funny, but there's two things that an iPhone can do. One is you can note down lyric ideas. And, oh, this will be fun. Okay, check it out. So here's a bunch of concepts I got for the new album. I'm going to read you all of the song ideas, and then in a year from now, you can say, well, you did all those.
Or not.
Okay, so song idea number 1. Myth always beats the reality. Imagination is always better than the truth when you find it. So that's a song idea. So I got to figure out how to make that into a song. Let's see.
You got a 1 to 3 that we already started?
Okay, so here's a parenty one, because I do parenty ones. I live my life through your eyes. Everything I do is for you. And the concept behind that was when I was in Istanbul, I realized I didn't bring my family, and it wasn't that much fun. I'm looking at this amazing temple, and I kept turning around to show it to somebody. Look at, and then there was nobody to show it to, and it just wasn't as cool. So I thought that would be a sweet song. And then I thought, here's a catchphrase. Oh no, somebody's gonna steal this, damn it. Nobody write this song. I thought the cool vagabonding was cool. In other words, vagabonds that like hang out together traveling, they're vagabonding. So I'm gonna try that. So yeah.
That could be the trucker song.
No.
Oh, it's got to be.
Oh yeah! Right on, Dan. That's how we write songs.
Yeah, but wouldn't that last like a Shaggy Dog story anyway?
Yeah, probably. So yeah, so I mean, I've got about 40 songs worth here in the next album's worth, and some of them I'll find out that's really that, and they'll come together. And then the other thing is I got a little multi-track recorder, and we'll be in line. We were in line at an ice cream store in San Francisco, and I'm like, Dan, just stand in front of me, and I'm like.
Don't mind him. He'll just get to those.
Yeah, and I'll whistle the melody into the song, and then when I get back to the studio, I'll find that melody, and I'll go through my list of topics, and I'll be like, ooh, that kind of sounds like this, and then I'll put them together. So that's how the songs get written.
Seeing how you're such raving technophiles, where did the song Overboard come from?
You know, I just did a review that was kind of interesting in that, because basically the thing that we're against as steampunks and aesthetics is this new thing that came up. It sort of sprung up with the Bauhaus movement in the 1970s, and what it did was somebody decided good design was taking all of the coolness out of everything and making it as cheap and profit margin worthy as possible. So they made everything fucking ugly. And so like boring. Yeah. Now the thing is, me and Christina are like super Mac heads. We love our Mac computers, we love our iPhones, we love our iPads, but they're as lame as you can get, design-wise. So the reason why steampunk is cool is we grab that crap and we make it badass. Yeah, it's me and Christina's hand-carved wooden iPhone skin, so it actually feels like something. But yeah, so the song is kind of talking. I meant it to be more about sort of cultural elements, reality TV, and all that kind of. These are the new concepts that we're supposed to be into, and it's like just don't care for it. And yeah, new gizmos are very, very cool and very, very useful, but it does seem like they threw a lot of the quality out. And if I went into the store and there was an iPhone and next to it was a freaking awesomely gorgeous Victorian iPhone and it cost a bit more, I don't care. I would buy the one that was cool, you know? And some of us would turn around and go home for a month and save until we had the money for the good one. So
I got something to add to that. 50 years ago, if you bought an appliance, it still works.
Yes.
Yeah.
2 years ago, if you bought an appliance, you're out buying a new one.
Yeah.
Because they used to make things that lasted, that you could open up and fix, and that was durable and sturdy. And now they build things with the intent of having it break or fall apart within a couple of years. It's an old planned obsolescence
We're in such
thing.
an age of waste.
Yeah.
It's
Apple's
just,
new
it
screws
makes me feel
that nobody
so
has screwdrivers
horrible.
for.
Yeah.
Of just the amount of printers each person in their life has thrown out.
Yeah.
Because they break. I mean,
well, and the printer companies consider them disposable.
Yeah.
They're really just trying to sell you the ink. So it's,
Yeah.
it's the whole. Well, and also, and I don't know if it's just this country or if it's global, but this new mentality where the number one most important, like, God above is the profit line. That's what people care about. And what that ends up happening is everything gets dulled down to the lowest common denominator. So you can't find what's really, really awesome. You find what was most profitable. And that's all that's available.
Yeah.
In the short term.
So my daughter goes to preschool.
Was it Isabella?
No, it's
Chloe.
Chloe.
It was Chloe.
The rest of us knew.
Oh, we were taking Isabella to preschool. Chloe was 7 at the time, and somebody asked her on a question on a test, if you could be anywhere in the world, where would you be right now? Or if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go right now? And she wrote down, to the apocalypse in Daddy's sidecar.
How many school psychologists were involved in that one?
What, say that again?
How many school psychologists were involved in that
They know about the band.
Oh, okay.
The first time she went to preschool, they asked her what she wanted to be when she grew up, and she said a naked dancer and a tattoo artist. Sometimes they're a little too cool.
She could actually spell apocalypse.
Well,
No, I think it was an apocalypse or something. Or that just might have been how I spelled it afterwards. But so then I tweeted, oh my God, my daughter's the coolest thing in the world, look what she just said. And all these fans were like, oh my God, that has to be a song. So I sat down and wrote that song, and maybe 2 days later I posted the lyrics. I'm like, here's the song, it's gonna be on the next album. So yeah. Yeah, I love that song.
If you guys weren't a band, what would you guys be doing?
I'd be in a band.
I swear to God.
Probably not one
Actually,
as cool as
first
this,
said
but
if you
still.
guys were a band. If you guys were a band, what
No,
would you
if
be
we
doing?
were, if we were doing.
I've only ever done music. I don't think I could exist if I wasn't doing music.
Yeah.
I'd be doing makeup. It's fun.
I would be poor and unhappy.
Dead by now.
Yeah, I'd be dead by now. You ever ask yourself what you'd have done if you'd have lived 300 years ago? I mean, I'm sure most of you guys have.
I'd be dead by now.
I'd be screwed.
That's right.
I've been burned to a stake.
I'd probably, if I lived in Renaissance time, I'd probably be a blacksmith because I like making things. I'd like have one eye missing.
Big old scars and big burly
I didn't
arms.
say I was intending to do that.
Oh,
I was kind of smart.
What would you do, Dan?
See, my story is kind of weird. I was something strange that I tell, really. I played a lot of music, played in a lot of bands up through college. But then, seeing as I had to pay for college, I joined the Army. So I was actually in the Army up until
Yesterday?
I joined the band.
Last Thursday?
Yeah, last Thursday. But I'd probably still be doing that. But yeah, it's having the opportunity to play with a band just allowed me to do something that I hadn't been able to do. You know how you're thinking about when you get through college or you're doing something and then you go into the workplace, which I thought was really cool. It's like, well, I'll never get to do this again. That kind of sucks. But then the opportunity presented itself back in, what, 4 or 5 years ago?
2007, May.
Love you too,
Because he
David.
was right about when we were going to play Convergence in Portland over Memorial Day weekend. That was the
you're
first
right.
show
Oh,
that
yeah.
he saw.
Wow.
The
I've been
first
back
show
in the
that he
country
saw
for
us
2 weeks.
was
I was like,
3,000 people in the audience.
yeah.
And then the first show that he played with us was
70 people.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so I showed up, I went to Convergence, and yeah, literally 3,000 people jumping up and down. It's like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna try. This is gonna be awesome. And then the first show we played, yeah, it was Doc Maynard, the
Seattle.
sound guy, the promoter didn't even show
God.
up. The sound guy, oh, I can't fix
Dan.
it.
Took him 15 minutes to
Yeah.
find the switch to turn
You
the
had to pay
PA on.
your dues to your-
I did. Well, I paid my dues when I was coming up in like all my crap. Well, then the next, actually, then they said, no, it'll get better. And then we went to Mask and Veil down in Arkansas.
That was fun.
That was awesome. No, it wasn't. No, it was fun. It was a fun show, but we showed up to the venue. It was this concrete box building that had flooded the day before, so it smelled like mold. I'm like, you guys suck.
They had those liquid vacuum cleaners that to clean
Yeah.
the whole thing out, and they tried to dry it as well as they could, but you could still kind of smell it.
But I mean, the bottom line is just having the opportunity and just looking back, it's like, man, I never thought I'd be able to do that again. Just being able to go back to something that it was always on your list of things to do, but you got too busy with life. Given the opportunity to do that again, I wouldn't change it for anything. So.
Next question. Yes.
Mostly folk musics from around the world. Because what we're trying to do is, a lot of times when people take folk music or when they take world music and that kind of stuff, what they do with it when they learn it is they make it into this really mellow format. And then, if you look at those gypsies playing that music, it's not easy listening for them. You go to the Middle East and see their people rocking out with their musics, and it is not mellow stuff. And so one of the things that we're trying to do is take all of those musics that Western culture sugared up and dulled down and turn it back badass. So it's like, take what was badass about these world musics or these folk musics, take the badass parts of it and drive it forward even further in that direction. That's kind of what our whole model is.
What were you doing in Turkey?
I was
Trying not to get stabbed.
That's what I ended up doing in Turkey. Literally every day, if Turkish police take me in prison, somebody help. So, yeah, Turkey ended up being a lot scarier place than I was intending. I originally went there to get ideas for music and buy new instruments and that kind of stuff, and I found the music district of Istanbul. And I'm walking down the street and I'm looking in the shop windows, and they have the strangest instruments. In every window of every shop, it would be an accordion, a violin, a bouzouki, a darbuka, and a guitar. And I'm like, crap, we've been doing this for years. It was literally nothing new. And I would go listening to the dudes rock it out in the bars to their Turkish gypsy music, and it sounded like Abney Park music. I'm just like, well, crap, this isn't new. So, then I spent the rest of the time trying to stay alive, and then I came home. So,
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you succeeded in the latter part.
Thank you.
or either of the two. If I'd have come home dead, would have.
been awkward for the rest of us.
Yeah, I'd have done a lot less vacuuming next week.